Welcome back, Twaggers. I'm your host, Charles Clayton, and I'm joined here by Sam Brassfield to bring you another episode of This Week at GSU. Sam, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing great, Charles. Just noticing a great change in the weather lately.
That's great news. And with this great weather means GSU must have some great events coming up. So what do we have this week?
Well, for starters, this break in the weather means summer is fastly approaching, which means those who are planning for summer classes, you might want to get going on those classes. Summer classes begin on March 19th, and priority registration starts at 9 a.m., so be sure to get right on that. Be sure to grab your seats because those summer classes are starting to become limited. For more information, you can contact the registrar's office by email at rregistrar'soffice@gov.edu, or you can contact them by phone at 708-543-4500.
Well, speaking of summer classes and classes in general, they can be pretty expensive. So with the help of the Department of Education, you may be able to receive financial aid for your summer classes. Last year, the government introduced summer Pell Grants to students who have filled out a FAFSA and are eligible. Applications are available in the financial aid office and can be filled out with the help of their staff. Remember, only students who are eligible through the FAFSA may receive aid for summer classes. For more information, you may visit the financial aid office right inside the main entrance or contact them directly at fade@govst.edu or by phone at 708-534-4480.
GSU will be hosting this year's War and Memories Commemoration in Humanities on March 19th at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. This event will be held at the Benjamin O. Davis VWF Post 311, located at 22341 South Governors Highway in Bridgeton Park. Join Dr. Rosemary Jensen, Dr. Andre Market, and the student veterans from Governor State University in reading and discussing war-related literature from the past 100 years. If you are interested, you must RSVP GSANN at praisestate.edu.
Well, while the weather may not necessarily agree, spring break is right around the corner. This week, we had our correspondents go around the campus to talk to students about spring break.
Spring semester began on January 22nd for students at Governor State University. Students have fought the harsh winter conditions and have endured another semester at GSU so far. As the spring semester is here in full force, this is the time of the year of projects, papers, midterms, and stress. Thankfully, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Monday, March 18th marks the start of spring break. From the 18th all the way to Sunday, March 24th, students will have the opportunity to de-stress and take a break from classes. This allows students to catch up on some of the work they may be behind on, travel, or visit with friends and family. We spoke to students at GSU about what spring break means to them and what they plan to do.
Spring break means to me breath of fresh air, and it also means halfway through the semester, so I'm excited for that.
Cool.
I'm going to California. I scored an internship with the SACS agency, so I'll be doing some marketing practice under an actual company, so I'm actually really excited for that.
For me, spring break is just a time to relax and just it's time for reflection, what you could do better next semester or when you come back to school. But other than that, it's really just to chill and get your mind right, focus on you for a little bit, because too much work is not good, regardless of what anybody say, in my opinion. I'm actually gonna be staying in town, but I'm gonna be kicking it with my friends and stuff. I'm gonna have a good time, maybe do a party or something. We'll see what spring break come and bring.
From everyone here at GSU, enjoy your spring break and be safe.
If you are interested in donating blood to those in need, you have an opportunity to do so very soon. The Governor State University and the Heartland Blood Center have teamed up to host a blood drive on March 29th at 3:30 p.m. and it's going to last till 7:30 p.m. in the Hall of Honors. Potential donors are asked to register and make their appointments in advance at the Heartland website, www.heartland.org, or contact Carolyn at crussell4@students.gov.edu. The Heartland requires donors to be at least 17 years old and weigh at least 110 pounds. Donors will also need to bring their photo ID with them as well, and anyone who donates gets a free t-shirt and refreshments. This event is free to the public and available to those family and friends who want to join in on the fun. If you have any questions regarding your eligibility as a donor, please contact the Heartland Blood Center at 708-633-0101. After the coming short break, Charles will be covering what's going on here at our Arts Department.
Don't let me go.
Welcome back, Twaggers. GSU's Visual Arts Gallery has a new exhibit to get excited about. Accomplished artist Monica Resman will be bringing in some of her large-scale drawings and sculptures for our viewing pleasure. Her work will be available to see anytime the gallery is open, but as an added bonus, the artist herself will be making 2 very special appearances on campus. Come on out Wednesday, March 27th from 12 to 2 p.m. to talk to Resman about her work and her process. Then come back on Saturday, March 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. for a closing reception and a tour of the sculpture park. Even though Monica Resman will only be here for 2 days, the exhibit featuring Resman's work will be available for your viewing pleasure now until April 8th. There's no charge to visit the exhibit, and it's available and open to the general public. So grab a friend and swing on by the Visual Arts Gallery and see some amazing art. For more information, call the Visual Arts Gallery at 708-534-4021, or you can stop by the gallery anytime, Monday through Thursday, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and from Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We hope to see you there. And coming up after a short break, we're going to talk to Mark Kuhnla about the sports internship offered here at GSU.
Hello and welcome everybody back to Governor State men's basketball. We come to you live from the Arc here at Governor State University in University Park, Illinois. Jaguars, great team performance tonight, 87-78 victory. Welcome back, everybody, to Governor State men's basketball. We come to you live from the Arc, and yes, it is the postseason, the CCAC championship game this Saturday afternoon. Grant Johnson in the corner for 3, knocks it down.
Tough basket right there by Robbie Brooks.
One-hander, one-hand man cannot be stopped.
Last second 3 by Johnson, no good, and St. Francis is your 2018-2019 CCAC champions.
Welcome back. I'm here with Mark Kuhnla, and today, Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well today, Sam. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you for asking. Well, so what exactly do you do here at GSU?
Well, I have multiple hats here at GSU. I am a student supervisor for student media here in DLMD, where TWAG is being recorded. I'm also an adjunct professor. And then just recently, a few years ago, I started off as the supervisor for our sports broadcasting intern program.
Oh, very interesting. So what made you get into media? Like, how did you get into this field?
Well, I've liked it ever since I was a youngster. Although my focus was always to get into radio, and after a few years, I didn't make it that way, so I came here to Governor State. Was given a tour of this facility. I walked in the studio doors back there, looked around, and just said, this was it. This is what I want to do.
Would you say that anyone in particular inspired you to do media? Like anyone in your family, anyone that you grew up with, or
No, actually, most of my family is on a very, don't mean it politically, but conservative kind of side of life skills. Me, I'm an outgoing guy. I love to have fun, and plus I do not like a desk. I hate a desk.
Me too. I agree with that one.
And this job, I don't do the same thing twice.
So do you say you inspire others to go into media?
I hope I do. I know when I graduated here from Governor State, I always vowed to myself that I would help any of the other fellow students that came up from behind me, because I know how difficult the field is. The media field is an extremely difficult avenue to cover, as well as being here in Chicago makes it even tougher, because many folks who decide to go into the media field pretty much guaranteed they're going to have to leave Chicago before they can ever come back here to be in the media field.
So would you say that, you've obviously been here for a while, you said you graduated from GSU, you've been in the field for a while, do you feel like there's anything left like for you to do? Like, you feel like there's something unaccomplished in your field that you still want to get to?
Well, one of my master's degrees is the IFDI, and I'd love to shoot a script I have at home. Unfortunately, fatherhood took over and kind of discontinued that goal. So that would be the one goal that's still on my list to, may not be on the TV side, but I definitely would like to jump back into the film side and follow through with my script.
Okay, I think that you should do that. Actually, big theater guy myself, so
Yeah,
I think you should possibly.
You were excellent in Almost Maine, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you, I appreciate it. I didn't know you saw the show, but we appreciate it. So, do you feel as if there's something that you want to improve on in the media field?
For myself,
Yes,
or just
from your standpoint, do you feel like there's something that you would like to improve on?
I don't know. I've been in the field for 25 years, and every 5 years or so, something new comes along. I mean, I started off as just a PA, then a director. Then I started working with students as a adjunct faculty member, and then I started working with the sports program, and it just kind of keeps evolving and keeps adding to my list of what to do. So anything I'd like to improve, there's always room to improve. Nobody's an expert on their job, so there's always plenty of room to keep learning.
That's true. That's what my director says. He says, no matter how good you think you are, somebody that's probably working just as hard as you somewhere, or even harder. So, as a media student, what would someone want to do to get some experience in media before they graduate? What kind of experience do you think they should do before they, here at GSU, that we offer that they can do before they graduate?
Okay. Well, yeah, when it gets to the media field, many places who hire are not looking at where you came from. They're looking at what have you already learned, because they don't want to waste money and time to train you. So, I mean, even before GSU, if you got involved with your church, a lot of churches do media and audiovisual type of coverage, working for the local cable station. But here at Governor State, we obviously got our classes. Then there's also a group of students in my area, the student workers, that have been hired to work as a professional position with us. And then we also have the internship. Internships are probably the easiest way to get some experience, have a really good name on your resume when you get out there, and gives you plenty of experience if you find the right place.
Yeah, excellent. Have you seen any personal growth in any of your students involved in the internship so far since it's been available?
I think so, yeah, I definitely. Every year with the sports broadcasting, I personally bring on anywhere from 8 to 11 interns. So when you're talking a program that only has about, I don't even want to guess numbers, but conservatively I'd say 35, 40 students, you know, I'm taking 1/4 of them and giving them a chance to actually get professional experience. And the nice thing I like about our internship is that if you go out to some of the bigger places and you have ABC or Fox or ESPN on your resume, that's great, but you're usually a paper pusher, or you go get me a coffee while I go to this meeting kind of thing. I know some of them give you a chance to work behind the camera, but a lot of those positions are union. That's the other thing when you look for an internship, you go to a union place and you can't touch a lot of stuff. So our interns, they get to direct, they get to work the camera, they work graphics, they work replay decks, and they work on equipment that is the same equipment that we have out in the corporate world.
Okay.
And we've had about 3 or 4 of our interns go on to big jobs. The most recent was a gentleman by the name of Dan Bilo, who's now a news producer up in Madison, Wisconsin for an ABC affiliate. And the great thing about that is he had 3 places battling for him. So not only did he have one, but he had 3 media outlets asking for him to come and work for him. So he had a pick of the litter.
That's good. That's good. That's what you want. That's
Yes,
people
definitely,
fighting over you for your
definitely.
services. So a bit of a question for those people who are interns. So say you are shooting a game. Is shooting a basketball game, for instance, with someone on the camera who has no basketball experience that really doesn't even watch the game? Do you find it tough during those times?
Not really, because what we do to come out of the gate, if you will, starting in the summer, we actually go through a training. So the students use the equipment, they bring it out, they practice with it. We do volleyball, we do basketball, and basketball and volleyball normally have scrimmages. And so we will go out and actually shoot the scrimmages as a rehearsal, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully this year, in fact, we now are going to have soccer. And I'm really hoping, I'm working on that now. There's negotiations and discussions are happening as we speak to somehow, some way be also to be able to broadcast the soccer games.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Which hopefully should open up even more avenues for the student interns to come in and work with us.
Absolutely. So what happens, you ever had this situation happen? If you did, you can tell us so, but what happens if someone backs out the day of the production, like a camera guy or?
Well, when it comes to our productions, we have multiple bodies and I've got some wiggle room to make adjustments, but this is a professional gig. And if you decide to pull out of a production, I can guarantee you're probably not going to be on my production much longer. I've got plenty of people who turn in applications, and if I feel somebody's not carrying their weight, I can cut them. And pretty much that they're going to cost them their internship because they're not performing at a professional level. If somebody needs to work on something, I'll put them on something simpler that they're not be a concern for the rest of the team. But there's usually a heavy reprimand or discussion. It has happened a few times in the past.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't do your job, then you don't get a job. But question, any advice for any upcoming media major students or people who want to switch their major to media?
Well, like I said before, earlier in this, it is a tough field to get into. Plan to work your butt off because there's so many things, so many people, that are going to be looking for your position. So every time you're in a class, in an internship, shooting a friend's wedding, if you will, you're auditioning pretty much for the big leagues. And should always keep yourself focused, keep yourself focused on what can be done. And I think one of the best advice is to not take a full load of classes. The biggest problem with media students...
I agree with that.
The problem with most media students, or no, I'm sorry, not most, with many media students that I see come through here and other places, they think they got to get in, get their classes, and get the heck out. So they're taking 15 to 18 credit hours. Now they don't have time to focus on their skills. They don't have time to do internships and get involved heavily. They don't have time to do freelance work to build up that resume. They think what they're going to learn in the class will get them everywhere. And you got to remember, for every Spielberg, every Scorsese, every Yolanda, I forgot her last name, from Grey's Anatomy, and there's 1,000 people behind them that never got anywhere and are serving you fries at the local fast food joint.
This is true. This is true. Well, Mark, this is sadly, this is all the time we have today here. But I do thank you for giving us time with
Thank
the
you,
interview
Sam.
today.
Thanks.
And for all those here watching, we thank you. For all of us here at Studio B, join us next week for another episode. Thank you so much. You have just been TWAG.